This is the gayest thing to happen at a Trump rally since like George Santos, okay? What do we have but the Village People, okay, leading up to the inauguration, doing the full-blown YMCA with Trump. Now, if this isn't the biggest irony of ironies, I'm at a loss for words, babe. Like, I don't know what is, okay? Because this is one of the most this is the gayest thing to happen at a Trump rally since like George Santos, okay?
Stay at the YMCA, gonna stay at the YMCA.
This is the gay anthem. Even like I just went to search it to put it on my Instagram story and it has a rainbow flag. So the Village People conceptualize in the village, right, of NYC, gay capital. Well, formerly was a gay capital, okay? And you have them because obviously the YMCA became like the Trump unabashed theme song. And I don't even know if people realize this. I have to admit, I will raise my hand and admit, I actually feel super naive. I did not realize this. I'm like, I thought the YMCA was just a fun bar mitzvah song about having a nice time and playing some basketball and shooting some hoops and doing whatever you feel at the YMCA. Well, I have news for you, Sally. It seems that there's always been speculation that the YMCA, since it is such a gay anthem, was about more going down at the YMCA in a way that's gay. Are you catching my drift? It's never been confirmed nor denied. But so also something to note that because of this, when it came out, how conservatives stick up their butt morality police were all up in a tizzy and an uproar, right? And like, look at us now. Look at them now. It's like, and when I say us, I mean the collective of this moment that you have the original Village People in their assless chaps, okay, with pants underneath, but still the aesthetic is there. Happily, gleefully bouncing, dancing to their iconic song with Trump while he's in the middle doing his dance. They're doing their dance all together. And again, who would have thunk it from a big fat fascist? Not me. Okay, so what is happening, you know? So to see all of that, it's such an indicator of what is going on. And people, again, feeling liberated. Even if it isn't Trump himself, it's what he's done and overcoming, right? And being free almost in that way, because it's like, you know what? You can persecute me. You can go after everything from you can arrest me. You can indict me. You can literally shoot at me multiple times. You can shame me. You can tear me down. You can all this and that. And the Village People are like, here we stand with Trump. There you go. The gay anthem of our time, right up there, getting jiggy with it, you know, with Trump. So I wonder how the left feels about that, because this is where it all falls in on itself, right? Like when they try to cling to these, like I said, like they're trying so hard. They are like keeping their greasy little paws on the draws of cancel culture. And when they see all this, I mean, I can't believe that they didn't have an internal reckoning to see the amount of young people, historic amount of Black people, historic amount of Latinos coming out for Trump in wanting a new era, in wanting opportunity and freedom and being tired of the bullshit. But if that didn't do it, I guess the Village People shaking their ass on stage next to Trump maybe will. It's anybody's guess. We shall see. It was even interesting to listen to the CBS live stream because you had them noting like, oh, well, you know, it's Martin Luther King Day. And there's a notably few amount of people of color in this room. Like, what do you think, Margaret? You know? And it's funny because actually one of the commentators swooped the hell right in. And they were like, well, actually, I don't know, because in the room that it was in, right, there were all these like really iconic, historic, and patriotic, if you will, moving paintings, you know, George Washington, the whole thing. And someone comes swooping in and they're like, actually, the person who is represented and painted the most in this room, aside from George Washington, is Pocahontas. So Pocahontas and her fine ass, sure. And by the way, sidebar, did you know that Pocahontas, the real Pocahontas, okay, we're not talking the colors of the wind here, was only 21 when she died? Like, poor old Pocahontas, like, she couldn't even, like, pour one out, if she were living today, barely, like, maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. But you know what, girl? Your memory lives on, and the John Smiths, the Polkas of all of us today, and the Disneys of it all. And so, even I wonder too, I was like, I wonder if Trump is gonna give a nod to Martin Luther King. And his whole speech was about, again, like how this past administration has, between the ideology, between the logistics, between the failed execution of things, like all of it from sea to burning sea, basically. Okay. And how this is really the dawn of a new era, and how a big part of that is government efficiency, not allowing the justice system to be weaponized, spending and prosperity and prices and opportunity, entrepreneurship, all these things, right? Patriotism and all of this. Um, and one of them was freedom, right? And he talks about censorship and all of that ending, which again, obviously the Zucks, the Bezoses were on notice and they got the memo. But he gave a nod to MLK, and I'm glad that he did. And he said, Martin Luther King, I'm paraphrasing, but basically, we are going to make his dream come true of true freedom, and a colorblind society, so to speak. Like, hence all of the people who came out in Trump's favor. So again, you know, it's interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting. Like, the left and the mainstream will twist it any which way they can until their last dying breath, which is, like, tomorrow. Like, literally, the mainstream media is on life support, needs to be resuscitated, but it'll be interesting to see how they twist that, flip it, put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it, right? Because how can you argue that?